Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, I got another knife review for you here. Today we're looking at a knife from CRKT. It is October, as you can see from the background here, just in case you're wondering why I have that. You're watching this in March or something. Yeah, recently I've had a bunch of CRKT knives that I've been checking out. I've had a lot of people request more knives from CRKT. I used to do them all the time. It's a budget company. Everything they make is pretty innovative, but affordable above all. And a lot of requests for it, so I got back into checking out some of their new stuff, some of their older stuff as well, and this is one of those models. So this is the Jettitson, okay? So we have a flipper here, all right, frame lock, pretty interesting knife. All right, as far as the box, new box to me, I remember CRKT having the just regular cardboard boxes. Now they have a green box with looks like a Damascus type pattern, you know, in the background, which is pretty cool. Confidence in hands, CRKT. All right, this one happens to be the 6130. All right, again, Jettitson. What this came with was just a little bag. And the paperwork here just shows this. This is a advertisement for the Chogue and T-Hawk. It says how to survive a blizzard. Make a signifier, build a snow cave, use woods, Chogue and T-Hawk to make yourself a log cabin. So, obviously a little humor there in advertisement. I like it. I like a company that can be funny. Very nice. So, yeah, let's talk about this. This is the Jettitson. Now, this is the large, again, the 6130. They do make a small one. I forget what it's called, the micro, or I don't know. It's not just a little one. It's, you know, it's actually quite smaller. So don't be confused with that if you're looking for this. Price on this is about 30 bucks. And for 30 bucks, I'm completely blown away. I've liked quite a few CRKT knives in the past. There's a lot of great budget knives. They're just extremely popular, like the Drifter. I like the innovation they have, going all the way back to the Rolock. I think the CRKT Rolock was one of the first I've ever had. The Edgy, which basically sharpened the knife every single time you shut it. It's just Columbia Knife and Tool has always been a really cool company. And again, staying in the realm of affordability, a lot of people get to check it out, which is pretty damn cool. Always been a fan. This one, however, the reason I say all that is that from my memory of all the CRKT knives I've had, and I liked quite a few of them, this is probably the best one I've ever had. All right, for $30, the quality, how this thing feels in your hand, it's absolutely amazing. It's super slick. There's no jimping anywhere on this knife. Now, some people might not like that. It's kind of refreshing to me. Every knife I've handled in the last couple months, they've all been just tacked out and grippy. And no, this is just, it's super cool. I like that it doesn't have any jimping on there. Super smooth. The handle here is actually, that has a stonewash finish on it. It's slightly contoured. All right, just super polished, super smooth. It feels really good. This thing feels like it could be a custom frame lock. Okay, now although this is not the actual materials, say this had some kind of super steel on there, and this was titanium, and you know, you slap a known maker on there, this could easily be a $400 or $500 knife. All right, no joke. Now, of course, those aren't the actual materials. This is just the stainless steel. Our blade steel here is an 8CR13 MOV. You know. Nothing to brag to your friends about, but you know what? It'll get the job done every day of the week, as long as you keep it sharp. And this thing came razor sharp. I mean, this thing is just a pleasure to open. And by the way, these knives, not just this particular knife, but if you have a knife that just has a flipper on there, you don't necessarily have to use that every time. Not everyone's a fan of the flipper. Let's say you don't want to, shoot it out and scare anyone. You're in public or something. You can take, your hand here, especially if you have a tip-up style pocket clip like this is. You can see this is positioned for tip up. You can use your bottom pinky and ring finger to kind of stabilize that in your hand. And you can use your middle finger and thumb, or your pointer finger and thumb. All right, it's easier for me, middle finger. And you can slowly push this blade out and then use your thumb to open it the rest of the way. All right, so if you want to open this slowly, you don't have to just use the flipper. You can actually just use your other fingers like that to manipulate it. Just a little tidbit. Again, not just for this knife, but just, in general. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about some specs. As I said before, blade steel is an 8CR13 MOV. All right, it's 0.16 inches thick. All right, this is a very interesting blade style here, 3.25 inches. It's a hollow ground Warncliffe, but you can see we have kind of a thumb, like a I don't know, mid thumb ramp. What would you call that? Extended thumb ramp. It's pretty interesting. You can see if this didn't exist, the lines would just, you know, come down. But it doesn't. It sweeps back up here. If you choke up like this, it feels actually really nice. All right. You can hold it like that as well. It's interesting. It's different. I like it. I definitely like it. Very appealing. Of course, the flipper acts as a guard. All right. The ergonomics are actually really good. It feels great in the hand. The one thing I personally don't like is you can see we have a sweep here, and then it comes back up and then back down. Now, your 3 fingers are supposed to fit in there, and then your pinky over there. I still got chubby fingers. I'm working on it, but right now they're chubby, and my ring finger lands right where that peak is. Okay, so although it's not incredibly uncomfortable, I do feel it there. All right, and imagine, you know, if I lost some weight, it would feel good. Or hey, if you happen to have a smaller hand, it would lock in a little bit better. But still extremely ergonomic, and again, when choking up, it's very, very solid in the hand, so not a huge issue at all, but definitely worth pointing out. If you have some big old, you know, chunky fingers, and you're walking around with some Jimmy Deans, you know, it may not fit you as well as someone else. But it's subtle enough where it's not an issue, okay? It's very rounded, it doesn't seem very pointed at all. I just happen to feel it there because I'm looking for, you know, things like that, because I do knife reviews. The average person might not even notice that. But, yeah, our handle, again, a stainless steel. The closed length on this is 4.5 inches. All right, making the total length 7.75 inches. It is 4.5 ounces. All right, you can see here we have a partial back spacer. All right, it is a frame lock, but it's all metal. All right, so although it's not huge and we have kind of a slender handle here, a little bit, it's kind of right in the middle there. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels really solid. If you guys know what I'm talking about, if you have all metal knives, they do feel extremely solid compared to just holding on to some G10 or even carbon fiber or something. The downside to an all metal knife, obviously, if you live in a colder climate, here in northeastern Pennsylvania, it's starting to get cold now. So, you know, and EDCing this in the wintertime, it's obviously going to, you know, transfer that cold to your hand until, you know, your hand naturally warms that up. So I tend to stay away from knives like this during the winter months for that specific reason. Man, just, I have to tell you, I'm super, super impressed with this one. I like the way it looks a lot, but it's just, I can't get over how it feels. It's super, super smooth. This one I don't believe is running on any kind of bearing system. There's no IKBS in here that I know of. I think it's just some Teflon washers, but it's just super smooth. I love it. It feels great. 30 bucks? Are you kidding me? I have to say, huge fan of this. As far as how it carries, you saw before there, it is a tip-up carry. All right, great little pocket clip because, again, smooth scale here. Very easy to get in and out of the pocket. No over grip issues, but it is nice and tidy. You can see this little cutout here gives you access to 2 screws. All right, so it's more stable. Some pocket clips only have 1 screw. Some have 3. This is right in the middle. But, you know, it carries pretty low. It's not, you know, super concealed. Didn't find that it was hard to get. Some of these knives with the, you know, super concealed or deep concealed clips, sometimes they're hard to grab because you're basically just grabbing the back of the frame of the handle and then the pocket clip. And depending on, you know, position and all that stuff, it, you know, could slip a little bit. It's happened to me before, but this one's just fine. The designer of this is Robert Carter. And a new upcoming guy, you think, hey, what does he know about knives? Well, his father is Joe Pardue, and his grandfather is Mel Pardue. So I would think the guy knows a little bit about knives, growing up in that scene. I have to say I'm very impressed with this. I definitely keep an eye out on him. I usually don't follow specific knife makers, but occasionally someone will come across the scene that, you know, I like a design or, you know, I like where they're going with knives, and I do kind of follow them. You know, every now and then I'll Google them and see what they're coming out with, what companies they're working with and stuff. So Robert Carter's got a great start with this one. I don't know if this is his first knife or not, but it's damn nice. I really like it a lot. Okay, you can see the 3 screws in here holding in this back spacer, which I believe is also just stainless steel. Just really nicely done. All right, slight cutout on either side here so you can get the meat of your finger in there to get that lock, which again is super smooth. This knife is just, it's really clean overall. All right, if you guys know what I mean by that, but it's simple. There's not a lot going on here. There's no striations or patterns in here. It's just smooth metal, beautiful, beautifully done, simple design, simple mechanics. I like it. I like it a lot. this is probably one of the few knives that I will keep around. Like 99% of all the gear, not just knives, but bags and sometimes gun stuff as well. It comes in, I use it, it has to go out because I have to make room and obtain new things. Constantly trading, you know what I mean? Can't always keep stuff, even if I like it. But this is one of those knives I might just set aside because I like it that much. You know what I mean? It's just pretty damn cool. So there you go. There's my review on the Jettitson. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have this knife, of course, give your opinions as well. Don't always trust one guy. Not even me. I love knives. I know some stuff about knives, but if you're looking to buy a new knife, you're in the market, I always recommend and suggest you watch as much videos as you possibly can, read as much reviews online and written reviews as well, and get a collective opinion on something. Don't just take my word for it. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.